So the topic we are just going to discuss today is the impact or the effect of marketing communication over consumer behavior. Marketing communication has got various components under it. Marketing communication is actually the integrated form of all the communication coming together, like advertising, sales promotion, publicity, public relations, personal selling, etc. So how marketing communication will actually impact or affect a consumer's purchase decision or a buying behavior, that is very crucial for marketers. And this is where actually marketers actually focus on how to create advertisements, how these advertisements can actually persuade or influence the consumers so that finally it comes out as a purchase action. So this is what actually is that is going to be discussed today. That is how marketing communication is going to influence consumer behavior. So the overview here is that is developing effective methods to persuade people to buy that is goods or services, especially using the influence of marketing communication. So that is what actually is going to be discussed today, how marketing communication can be used to influence consumers so that it actually converts to a final purchasing decision or to a final purchase action. So before moving forward, I just want to tell you that is what is basically a consumer behavior. Consumer behavior refers to the process and activities people engage in when searching for selecting, purchasing and using, evaluating and disposing of products and services so as to satisfy their needs and desires. So basically consumer behavior or a consumer's buying process actually consists of 5 stages. It all starts with the need recognition of the consumer. That is the need the consumer is actually finding to buy a product. So from need recognition, the next stage it progresses to information search. From information search it progresses to evaluation of alternatives, and from evaluation of alternatives to the final purchase decision. And then once a purchase action happens, the consumer actually moves on to the post purchase evaluation, or which we call it as the post purchase cognitive dissonance that actually happens in the consumer. So basically marketing communication can actually influence the consumer buyer behavior basically at 2 stages, especially once a consumer has found out a need, or the consumer actually gets into a need of buying something or buying a particular brand, or that is buying a particular product or a service. That need, after the need recognition, the consumer progresses to the information search. So information search is an area where the advertisers or any kind of marketing communication program can actually influence a consumer. Another stage where the consumer behavior can be influenced by marketing communication is the evaluation of alternatives. So we'll just basically look into how that is basically when the consumer looks in for an information search, how marketing communication can influence a consumer's information search. So these are the 2 stages which I was actually talking about, that is information search stage and the evaluation of alternative stage, where the integrating marketing communication will really influence a consumer's buying decision. So moving on to the buying decision stages and various psychological process the consumer goes through these various buying decision stages. So the first stage is problem recognition or the need recognition, where the consumer actually, the psychological process the consumer actually goes through is motivation. So here the advertisements or the marketing communication program can actually instill motivation into a consumer. The second stage is the information search stage, where the consumer actually develops a perception. So in this session basically I just want to concentrate on how a consumer can be motivated through advertisements or any kind of marketing communication program, and how marketing communication program can actually influence or develop a perception in consumers' mind. So this is what actually we are going to look into this session. Later stages we can progress in the other sessions as well. So especially during the problem recognition stage. Problem recognition stage is a first stage of consumer buying decision process. So problem recognition is where actually a need is actually being felt by the consumer. So how does a consumer feel a need? A consumer actually feels a need, actually something has to motivate the consumer, especially when that is a consumer is in the ideal state, and also consumer always will have an actual state. Okay, that is just taking an example of an ideal state and actual state is, ideal state a consumer might be wanting to buy a car, but the actual state is that consumer currently doesn't have a car, consumer has got a 2-wheeler, but that is, if his salary is increased, or if his income is increased, he has got, that is, he actually that is develop an interest to buy a car, because now he can actually afford to buy a car. So actually using a four-wheeler is actually his ideal stage, and using a two-wheeler is his actual stage. So this difference between the ideal stage and the actual stage is actually what is generating a need in the consumer, so as to move into a purchase action. So when that is a maximum, or the how much the difference that happens between the ideal stage and the actual stage, that is where actually the consumer will want to buy a product. So that is where the consumer comes across a problem recognition stage. So various sources of problem recognition stages, that is, we can list out as like when certain, like if it is our day-to-day products, we might go out of stock, suddenly the milk is over, or might be we need to buy bread for next day's breakfast. So that is what is we call it as a out of stock stage. The second stage is that currently something we are using and we are actually finding some kind of dissatisfaction with the current brand, so we want to actually change to, so that is to some other brand, or we want to actually try some other brand. So that is also actually creating a need or a problem. Other one is that is new needs that might arise in a consumer. That is, a baby is born in a family, so the need of buying diapers actually arises. So previously the family might not be using using or buying diapers, but suddenly when a baby is born in a family, that is, family's needs have changed. Actually needs have changed to buy enough diapers, needs have changed to buy enough baby products, baby toys as such. So this is how the new needs also arises in consumers. Then sometimes needs can arise also due to related purchases. Sometimes we buy a laptop, we need to buy a laptop bag, that is, sometimes we need to buy certain kind of laptop accessories. Even mobile phones, when we buy mobile phones, we need to buy mobile phone covers, might be headsets, all the related accessories with that. So that is also related product purchase. So this is also one kind of a need that actually comes in to the consumer. Then another one can be the market induced needs, especially when we look upon to the Christmas time. It is that is, many of the needs during that time are kind of a market induced needs, like gifting some of your Christmas friends, or might be putting up a Christmas tree in your home, or might be in your organizations or institution. So this is where so all these are a kind of market induced needs, when actually marketers actually display all these kind of products and actually generate a need in the consumer so as to buy this product. And also needs can arise when new products come into the market. Especially we all were having the normal kind of mobile phones, suddenly when the smartphones actually took up the market, so that actually generated a need in the consumers. If you want to reduce a travel time, suddenly that is, you want to travel by air. So a person who might be used to traveling by road or by traveling by train, suddenly his need shifts to travel by air. So these are the kind of various sources of need recognition or problem recognition. So what can actually happen, or what can actually being done by the marketers to generate this kind of a need? This advertisement of Rexona, this is actually creating an interest in a consumer to find out, that is, to create a need recognition in the minds of the consumer. That is, this particular product of Rexona, which is an anti-deodorant, it is actually giving in a new idea of an anti-stain deodorant. Generally deodorants, when we use, it is supposed to create stains on our clothes as such. Usually consumers are actually finding problem with this, but many of the deodorants actually create this problem. So Rexona has offered a new product, a new feature to its product, saying that this is an anti-stain deodorant. So this is again creating a need in the mind of the consumer to change the current using brand to another brand, or might be to buy Rexona. This particular advertisement also, you can see, this is again offering solution to wrinkles. So this is also again, that is in the consumer mind. When a consumer actually is thinking about, might be there is no solution to wrinkles, that is, as we age we generally develop wrinkles. This is what actually generally all the consumers think, that is, as we get older, wrinkles come in. But suddenly when a brand actually comes up with a solution for 100% removal of wrinkles, or might be claiming that you might look 10 years younger, so that is again actually creating a need, at least in some of the consumers' mind, to try out that product. So this is how marketers actually, or marketing communication, can actually induce needs or problems, or make the consumer recognize the problems so as to buy the product. Again, one more product just I want to show is that again offering a solution for bleeding gums. This is Listerine, as all of you know that Listerine is a well-known brand of mouthwash, which actually gives in a solution. Here in this advertisement, they are actually giving a solution to the bleeding gums or reducing gum problems in less than 2 weeks. So this is again actually offering a solution to the consumer for the various problems that is the consumers might face. Some of the consumers might be facing the issue of bleeding gums. So when they are exposed to this kind of marketing communication or print ad or a video ad, might be the consumer will at least have a mind to try the product. This is again another advertisement by MetLife. MetLife is again actually offering, that is in this advertisement, MetLife is actually telling about that is even in your old age you can enjoy your life. That is, if you have policies of, or that is a pension plan of MetLife, even in your old age you can actually enjoy your life as you were working. So this is a kind of problem recognition, or this is the kind of problems that is being induced or solutions that is being offered to the consumers through marketing communication. So the next stage, once a consumer recognizes various problems, the next stage is consumer actually moves on to the next stage of information search, that is searching for information so as to find solution for problems. So information search, actually it is both internal information search as well as external information search. Internal information search, we actually, a consumer actually searches from his or her own previous experience or might be memory, that is towards a previously exposed marketing communication. Or information search can be external, might be you might be hear from friends, that is which we call it as a word of mouth, might be you might that is get to know from internet, that is also again that is some kind of a that is viral marketing that is happening, that is things are being posted on social media. So that is a kind of various information that is consumers get. Also information is being availed by consumers from various media, also from the store visits, that is sometimes certain consumer electronics product we might go to certain stores, we visit and we analyze and gather the information. Even when a consumer actually want to buy a car or might be want to buy a apartment, actually information is actually being received by that is moving into the store or moving into the office of a builder. So this is how information search is being gathered. Also certain certain consumers even that is go on to trial, like some kind of test drives and all those things, again to gather more and more information about the product. So what is the implication of marketing communication in this stage? Marketing communication can try to provide more and more information, especially with the case of FMCG products, when they actually means those kind of products which they actually use in their daily lives. Through the print ad or through the visual ad, always marketing communication should try to put in the lots of information so that consumer need not actually that is look around for other kind of brands. So brands should actually focus on actually communicating their benefits through various kinds of print ads or visual ads. So this is what we see in the next advertisement. This is again an advertisement of Neutrogena, which is again a print ad. This is actually again an anti-wrinkle cream and that of oil-free face wash. So they are actually providing maximum of information in this print ad. So once a consumer is exposed to this kind of advertisement, especially when they go in for external search, like searching through magazines, if they come across this kind of an advertisement, the maximum information is actually being given to the consumer through the advertisement itself. Certain advertisements we can see that they don't give much of information, just certain visuals will be there. But basically for FMCG products, consumer doesn't go about searching for information. So that is these kind of information can be given through advertisements itself, and that is what is being beautifully given by Neutrogena here. So this is a very good way of communicating to the audience, that is giving lots of information about the product. So these are the various media through which the consumer gathers external information like newspapers, friends, relatives, books, magazines, advertisements, exposure to public relation activities, in-store display, salespeople and internet and etc. Recently we have come across that is a lot of that is news about the privacy issues in WhatsApp. So that is again one area where WhatsApp actually has come up with a beautiful public relation message, a full page message in the newspaper saying about that is they are not taking away the privacy of the audience. So that is in yesterday's newspaper, there was a beautiful public relation advertisement that is being given by WhatsApp explaining about the that is the legibility of using that particular app, and consumers should not be concerned with the privacy issues. So this is a kind of marketing communication that company is given so that the consumers get the right information. So external search is also influenced by the consumer's ability to search, motivation to search, and also cost versus benefit. That is what I was telling in the previous slide. For day-to-day products, we don't do a lot of external search. Whereas when we are highly involved with the product, we do a lot of external search, especially to buy a car, or to might be to buy an apartment, or might be while buying jewelry, or might be while taking insurance plans. We might do in a lot of external search, as well as a lot of motivation is also needed there. So this is where the marketing, that is the marketers have to really focus upon to. So this is where the external search is really influenced by the level of involvement of consumers, need for cognition, and also the level of shopping enthusiasm. Certain cases, that is consumers that is go in and buy like window shopping, that is as you move through the aisle of the mall, that is you see, that is you are exposed to certain things at the point of purchase, and you that is buy those things. So that actually doesn't need a lot of data of external search, but certain kind of products actually need lot of information that has to be pumped into the consumer so that they actually look in for the external search. Also, cost versus benefit is also another factor which actually influences the external search of the consumer. So this is again another ad which actually help the consumer recognize the problem. This is basically a nasal drop ad which actually gives in a solution for allergic nasal issues. So this kind of an ad which actually again gives a lot of information about the allergic issues created due to pollens or any other kind of that is allergens. So this is where this kind of a product actually offers a solution to that. So this also actually really influence the consumer's external search. So today's session, I have just discussed how marketing communication actually influences the consumer in their problem recognition stage, as well as how marketing communication actually influences the consumer in the external, that is the information search stage, where it is internal as well as external search. So these are two areas where actually marketing communication has got a lot of influence, and even in other stages also marketing communication has got influence, but that can be discussed in the next session. So thank you.